to be allowed to go. And then if they are all right, and they will have to check the health, and they have to do some other papers, and then 3 months later they may go.
You mentioned earlier, I don't know that the tape was rolling or not, that some Americans are coming back here and marrying Vietnamese.
Yes.
Why are they coming back for that? For what purpose? And then how do they end up getting married?
Some of the GIs, you know, they have a very good feeling with Vietnam. I don't know. I cannot explain anyway. But they have very good feeling with Vietnam. They said that they would have reconciliation between the two countries right away. They come back, most of them working on humanitarian issues, building, you know, clinics or bringing medicine. And then they met Vietnamese again. And during their stay in Vietnam, you know, they talk to each other and then they get married. I saw some of them already. In this room they came. And I jokingly, you know, talking to them that you don't create a Malaysian problem for me again. They said, no, I'm going to take care of my children, not as before.
How many Amerasians are there? And explain what an Amerasian is.
The Amerasian is about 50,000. 50,000 Amerasian in Vietnam. But then you have to count...
What is an Amerasian, though? What is the person that's called an Amerasian?
It's the children, you know, born by American, you know, GIs and Vietnamese women. We call Amerasian. And the number in Vietnam left by the war about 15,000. 15? 15.
15,000 are still here?
No, the total number. But then we have that program in long before, but started the program of Amerasian in 1986. And then in 87 or 88, you have that act in the Congress to allow all Amerasian to go to the United States with their mothers and sisters and brothers. So we got about 40,000 of them, you know, went to the United States already. Now about 25 or 30,000 left. That means maybe now we got about 5,000 or 6,000 Amerasian themselves with the mothers and sisters.
Do you think that the American fathers of these children should come back to Vietnam and get them and take them to the United States?
It's quite difficult. Many of them, you know, don't recognize their children. Some of them, you know, may come back, but they don't recognize the children. They have the feeling for the children. But then now you have, they have their wives in the United States, they have their own children in the United States. So it's quite difficult. Some of the GIs come back, you know, to Ho Chi Minh City. And many Amerasian, you know, going after him, calling him, father, take me home, but he couldn't. So it has to be with the government to have the Amerasian to go to the United States. And I understand that people like Congressman Rajek, he has a very sympathetic, you know, feeling toward the Amerasian. I understood that thanks to his effort, he brought back to the United States one Amerasian. He was crippled, you know, he couldn't walk upright. And now that Amerasian now is living in the United States.
Which congressman?
Rajek.
Mrazek, Congressman Mrazek of New York.
That's it. Very good man.
Over the last couple of years, how many congresspersons have been here from the United States?
I only can estimate about 50.
15.
50.
50.
Yeah.
50. 50 members of Congress.
From 86 to 92.
And they...
Now, this is not the exact, number. I can estimate only because, I receive all of them. Maybe one delegation about 10 of them, the other maybe 5, or maybe 1 only.
Has the mood changed in the relationship over the last 5 years?
Yes, certainly. Many of them, before they came, most of the time they talk on the MIA issue, but then recently they talk on Cambodian issue. Now they talk on economic development or economic relation between the two countries. Maybe today I'm going out to meet one of delegation to come to Vietnam. I understand Congressman McDermott from Washington. McDermott from Washington.
Washington State, yes.
State. And he comes with the purpose of investigate the market in Vietnam for the economic relation between the two countries and with humanitarian aid to Vietnam. I don't know whether he is going to talk about MIA, but I received information from our mission in New York, and the mission concentrate on economic relation.
Let me ask you a question that may not be easy to answer, but from your perspective, when you see Americans come here to visit, what don't you like about Americans? What do they do that bothers you? That if you weren't so diplomatic, you'd say, "Stop doing this. It makes me mad."
Yeah. The most difficult or issue I don't like is the POW. The church asking me about there is still, POW in Vietnam. There is still, living American in Vietnam. Because, I explained many times to them already. And I know the question, is the reality. So I don't like that question put to me. Otherwise, they are friendly. They talk to people. They go to the street. They talk to children. Many of them, I like very much, like Congressman Mickey...
Edwards?
No, Mickey Leland.
Mickey Leland, who died.
That's marvelous. He came here, and then he went to the market to shake hands with the, people. And I remember very well that he went by a school, and many children, at the time that class out, many children, surrounded him, and he, teach him how to say, "Hello, I am an American, you are Vietnamese," and they, repeat after him. It's very good, scene to see an American congressman, to mix with the Vietnamese children.
Not very far from here, as a matter of fact, probably a 2-minute walk, is the mausoleum of Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
We spent some time there videotaping the long line that went through the mausoleum to see the body of Ho Chi Minh.
Yes.
Why are people so reverent to Mr. Ho?
I think that, as I talked to you before, one of our earnest desires is independence for the country. And Uncle Ho is the one who showed us the way to gain back our independence. And therefore, we, respected him. I think that eternal, forever, he will be the great leader or hero of our country, not for this generation, but for many generations to come. Because, he's different from other leaders. For instance, the year before last, in 1990, is his 100th birthday. And many of the statesmen from the world come to Vietnam to celebrate his 100th birthday. Even Americans, who were involved in Vietnam during the Second World War came, like Colonel Archimedes Party, who was the head of the OSS, You know that one? He came back here, and he was so fragile in health, more than 90 years old, and came back to attend the meeting. So in that way, I think that he is different from other, leaders.
Did you ever meet Ho Chi Minh?
No, I haven't got that chance. I was so young at that time, and then because I was in the province, not in Hanoi. And then when I came to Hanoi, it's time for me to go abroad, and I couldn't. But I went to join the youth volunteer brigade because of his, request.
Are you a member of the Communist Party?
Yes.
How long have you been a member?
It's a long time. I joined the party in 1967.
What does it mean today to be a communist?
To be a communist, you have to make a big effort to develop the country for the benefit of the people. You have to take care of your family. You have to look after your children. You have to look at the welfare of the community, and you have to behave like a very sincere, hard-working people. You should not be corrupt. You should not bribe people. It looked like somehow people go to church. Now this is different from Marxism and the church, but you have to have very good conduct, very hard working.
What's the difference between, say, communism and what you saw in America?
There are some similarities, in the United States. You have people in the Republican Party or in the business community working very hard, very strict manner, very disciplined, very business-like. That way we would like to be in that area. I try, to be working efficient, to be business-like, to be like hard-working. But then some others may be different. If you, looking too much for money or position, is that different. We don't want it that way.
Do you think there will ever be another political party in Vietnam besides the Communist Party?
Before we had one or two parties, but then they think that the Communist Party is the one leading the country and should give the role of leading the countries. For the moment, I don't think that there will be another one, because the Communist Party, like the party of Uncle Ho, and working very hard for the independence of the country and for the development of the country. So it has the mandate right now to lead the country. I don't think that in the immediate future there will be another one.
What do you think of what's happened in the Soviet Union?
In the Soviet Union, I think at the first, step in 1985,